again, asanteni sana, our customers, as I said, karibuni sana again for this webinar. And good to note that we have very good numbers who have already joined. And we are happy to see you. I think we already 65, and I know many are joining. Good to see one of the topics that you have asked us to provide during our Thursday webinars on opportunities that are there on the stock market is what we're going to have a discussion on the same. And to take us through the presentation, we have two presentations. One is on the MSME investment opportunities that are there in the stock markets, because we want to diversify our way of investment. And so we'll have Dennis Langat to take us through. Dennis Langat is a relationship manager at Kingdom Securities Limited. And we'll also have another session on e-credit for businesses taken through by Moses Lop. Moses Lop is a manager in MSME e-credit, and he'll be taking us through that. And then after that, we'll have a session for question and answers. So we'll have a panel discussion after that, taken through the question and answer session by both Dennis and Rob. So we're starting immediately, and we will end at exactly 12:30. We want to take 1.5 hours. And in terms of few ground rules, just to make sure that we put our videos and microphones muted. Make use of the chat box just to share your comments and your questions, share your feedback when requested, and feel free to share your reactions down there again, just to make sure that we know what you are getting. Above all, we want you to enjoy the session as we proceed. Now, as we progress, we want to really want to know where you are and who you are. And as we proceed, we request you that you can share your name, where you're coming from, and what would be your webinar expectation for today. So if you can be able to see the chat box down there, please just take a minute and tell us where you are and who you are. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Okay. As you do that, I want to. Yeah, so I can see, sorry for that. We had muted. So good to see that we have Elisha from USA. We have someone from Yala. We have Christine. And Christine is saying we're looking forward to learn new ideas. Thank you. We have Dennis Kongoti from Nairobi. We have Ongera Okemwa, Victor. Yeah, good to see that we are coming from all over the country. Arnold, Evans from Ongatarongai, Frederick. We have Kirui from Baringo County, Asante. We have Metrin from Vihiga, Frank from Nairobi. We have Benedict Abwao from Nairobi, Timothy. I can see the whole country is represented from our customers all over. Thank you so much for joining, and we want to say karibuni sana. Let's learn. Today we have a very good topic on opportunities that are there in the stock market. Just to say it's part of the feedback that we got from you on the due topic. Good to see that you already continue to share your comments on where you're coming from, and karibuni sana. This time now I want to invite Dennis Langat. Dennis Langat is a staff. He's a relationship manager at Kingdom Securities Limited. And he will be giving us insights on how we can invest. And he has done this one for long and he has a lot of experience. So I want to invite Dennis to pick it up and give us the insights. Asante sana. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. And thank you, our customers who have joined us in this webinar. I want to assure that as we begin the webinar, please be ready to learn a lot in terms of investment opportunities in the stock market. So I will be taking you on how, as an individual, you can be an investor and benefit from or by investing at Nairobi Securities Exchange. So thank you and karibuni sana. So first I want to explain to you exactly who we are. I think my colleague Peter have been taking you through other webinars, investment forums provided by Cooperative Bank. Personally, we are now introducing to you Kingdom Securities, and I just want to give you the profile of Kingdom Securities before we start the session. Kingdom Securities is a subsidiary of Cooperative Bank. So wherever you see Cooperative Bank, you are able to access our services. And our head office is at Cooperative House, 50th floor. So if you are within Nairobi, you are welcome. Walk into our office, having an interaction with our staff. You'll be guided in terms of how you can be an investor and also the product which are available at Kingdom Securities. So feel free to engage us through any Cooperative Bank branches. We are also licensed as a stockbroker by 3 main regulators. That is Capital Market Authority, CDSC, and Nairobi Securities Exchange. When it comes to due diligence for any investor, you need to be exactly knowing who you are investing through or with. So in this case, we have got the license as required by the law, so you are covered. And no testimonies out there might not be good in terms of previous experiences, whereby you engage other people and later on, maybe you are not able to trust them, or something happened and you don't know exactly who to approach. So for us, we are fully mandated to advise you and guide you when it comes to any investment. So feel free to engage us. I will take you through our services, what we offer as Kingdom Securities, and one of the key services is opening CDS accounts. CDS account is a central depository system. It's almost the same with the bank account for the banking system, but in our case, this is whereby when you purchase shares that are deposited, when you purchase shares, bonds, that are deposited at CDS account. So in this case, this is an account which will be showing a transaction. When you deposit money, it will show in that account. Whatever you are going to buy, it will show also on that CDS account. In Kenya, it's only stock brokerage firms which are allowed to open CDS accounts. So in this case, as I mentioned earlier on, we are fully mandated to do so. So, and with the Cooperative Bank network, we are able to access our services. So in this case, you can approach or rather submit your document through any Cooperative Bank branch, and it will reach Kingdom Securities for processing, and we'll contact you or engage you in process of opening that CDS account. So anytime you are dealing with shares listed in Nairobi Securities Exchange or are deposited to that CDS account. Towards the end of this presentation, I will share with you requirements of opening CDS account. And also there are a number of types of CDS account which you can open with us. You can open as an individual investor, choice that is a personal CDS account. You can also open a joint CDS account. If you have a registered group, you can also open one for your investment group, the likes of JAMA or any group maybe which you have got a common ground and you feel like you want to invest in a stock market. we will guide you on how you can be able to operate a CDS account as a group. You can also open a CDS account as a SACCO if maybe you have a registered SACCO and you want to invest in stock market. We'll be able to guide you. In this case, maybe you could be a leader in that CDS account. In SACCO, you can present the same to your members that there's an opportunity in stock market, and if you need us to advise or to guide your members, we can be able to do so. Another service is immobilization and transmission. Immobilization in this case is a situation whereby we are converting the share certificate to the CDS account. Currently in Republic of Kenya, and specifically for the listed companies, certificate is no longer recognized as a legal document for the same since introduction of CDS account. So you are required to surrender a share certificate so that we can be able to convert them to the CDS account. You will be able to get a statement to confirm that you are a shareholder with a certain number of shares and for a specific company. Even if you are to use the same in somewhere else as an official document, the statement is sufficient, as opposed to years before 2013, whereby certificates could have been requested from you for the same to be used for official purpose. So in case maybe you are still holding a share certificate, kindly engage us so that we can be able to guide you in terms of how you can have them in a CDS account. And also you could be having family members who are still holding those share certificates. Please advise them that nowadays is a requirement that they have them in a CDS account. As I mentioned before, approach any cooperative bank branch and you will be assisted in terms of how the process is. Also, we do have the transmission. This is whereby shares have been transferred from one individual to another one. So maybe you want to process a private transfer. Kingdom Securities is in place to facilitate that process. Also, maybe for the transfer for succession process, we are also mandated to do to do the same. But please visit our offices or branches for advice before you start the process. Maybe you have someone a disease, and for you could be knowing that they were holding shares with a certain company. We can, and you have the proper documentation to support the same. Or even if you don't have the documents, kindly let us know. We'll direct you to the right office whereby you will be able to get such information. Next service is trading on shares, bonds, and derivatives. These are the key 3 products provided by NSE at the moment. So the 3 products are the one which are commonly traded by investors at Nairobi Securities Exchange. For shares, or commonly known as the stocks, this is currently we have 67 listed companies, and we'll be able to guide you and show you which company is good for you to invest, which one is good maybe at any given moment to sell, or in case maybe you've got any inquiry or in relation to any listed company, we'll be able to guide you. For bonds, we do have the one that is the government bonds and the corporate bonds, which are also listed at Nairobi Securities Exchange. We'll advise you and guide you in terms of how you can be able to do so. Almost on a monthly basis, the government float a bond, that is the treasury bills and the treasury bonds. Treasury bills, the one for less than 1 year, and also the treasury bonds which has more than 1 year. We'll be able to guide you in terms of which bond is good for you and how you can be able to purchase that bond. At the moment, bonds are going for the bonds, they're going, the one which is open right now is going for 12.8%. For treasury bill, they're around going for a percentage of about 7 to 8% per annum. But when you will be having engagement with you, we'll be able to show you exactly which paper is available at any given moment. And then also derivatives, this was introduced year 2019. It's still a new product, but we can be able to, we have a competent team which has got a very wide experience. They will be able to advise you on how you can be able to utilize the same to realize returns. Another service is the research reports. When it comes to stock market, information is the key element. Making that decision in terms of what to buy or even what to sell at any given moment is based on the research. Like what kind of, what do we expect from any listed company? What are the trending companies at Nairobi Securities Exchange? So we have a research department whereby they normally analyze how market is performing, and then from there they will advise you that this is a good company to buy or even maybe to sell. What are we expecting in the near future? How is the global economy performing, and correlate to our local economy? Which sector is really doing well, or which one is anticipated to perform better? So we'll be able to share with you that information on daily basis and on weekly basis and also on quarterly basis. When you are opening the CDS account, you are encouraged to provide your email address for purpose of easy communication of the research reports. We are also can facilitate the IPOs wherever there is a company which are listing at Nairobi Securities Exchange. We will advise you and also provide the guidance on how you can be able to participate on such IPOs. Likewise to the right issues, this is whereby an already listed company, maybe they wish to introduce more shares at a certain prices. That information we'll share with you at appropriate time so that you can be able to utilize the same and advise you accordingly on how you can be able to maximally utilize the same. Finally is advisory services. This one summarizes now the whole process whereby when you approach us, you explain yourself that you want 1, 2, 3, and then we'll be able to sit down with you and guide you on how you can be able to maximally benefit from stock market. So the main question here is why now you are supposed to invest through Kingdom Securities. In addition to what I have discussed on the profile of Kingdom Securities, these are some of the key benefits by investing through Kingdom Securities. One is that you will have access to NSE product. Any product provided by NSE, as I mentioned before, Kingdom Securities is fully mandated to provide the same to stakeholders. So we'll be able to share with you that this is what is available or what has been available by Nairobi Securities Exchange. And then from there, we advise you exactly what you are supposed to do thereafter. This is specifically for the listed companies in terms of the shares as well as also the bonds. You will also have access to CDSC services. CDSC are the custodian of all CDS accounts. So in this case, we are intermediary. So there are some services which are provided by CDSC, like whereby you want to transfer shares. You have to go through a broker, in this case, like Kingdom Securities, and we encourage you that you can be able to do so through Kingdom Securities. So in case maybe you want to transfer shares from one broker to another, Kingdom Securities will advise you on how you can be able to facilitate the process. If maybe you are holding a CDS account somewhere else with another broker, it is accepted to have also with another broker. So maybe you have been, you are already an investor, then you are wondering how can you invest through Kingdom Securities? You don't have to worry. Once you talk to us, we'll be able to advise you on how you can be able to invest, maybe even with the holding with the more than one broker holdings. Also, if you want to transfer to Kingdom Securities, we'll be able to advise you on how you can facilitate the process, given that, or rather the way I explained before is that our services are available all over the country. You see CoBank brand, there you are able to access Kingdom Securities services. I can also assure you of a quality client service through our experienced investment and research team. As I discussed initially, the importance of the research reports. And also, When it comes to quality client service, we have experienced team also there who will be able to guide you exactly what you are supposed to do to benefit from Nairobi Securities Exchange. We have a competent team, but we have also trained staff at the branch level. They will be able to advise you, and also at our head office for Kingdom Securities. Once you also open a CDS account, you will be able to assess a relationship manager who will be able to guide you in terms of making realistic investment strategies. Our stock market is very dynamic. Sometimes maybe we don't know exactly what to do or how we can be able to benefit from this market. You will be assigned a relationship manager who will be able to explain to you the kind of cycle which is exhibited from Nairobi Securities Exchange. So in this case, you will be able to match your investment objectives with what opportunities available at Nairobi Securities Exchange. As an individual, you could be having so many, or rather considering several investments, and maybe you feel like there's a way you can be moving such funds so that you can be able to maximally utilize. So relationship manager will be able to guide you that for you to be able to maximize, this is what you need to do at any given moment. Because when you look at how the Nairobi Securities Exchange is performing, it's ever fluctuating. So we need to focus on when it is going down, how low is it likely to hit? When it is going up, how high is it likely to reach? So that you can be able to buy low and sell high. And that is the main principle when it comes to investing in securities market. Like you pick at the lowest possible price and also sell at the highest possible price. For a stock to achieve the high and the low, there are some very specific factors which must have contributed. So the likes of corporate actions, when a company is announcing their financial reports, what does it really happen? What do we expect? If, for example, like Cooperative Bank, whereby we normally announce our results in the month of March, what are we expecting around that time? What are we supposed to do now that we don't have much in terms of corporate actions? So those are some of the items which a relationship manager will be able to guide you, and also you can discuss. And as I mentioned before, your personal investment objective also will be factored in, so that by the time we are deciding that we are going to invest in a specific company, at least we know that you are within your time frame, and also you can be able to sell at the right time, so that you don't really pressurize yourself that maybe for some other reason you are selling before the intended time. We are also providing real-time trading platform. In this case, it's commonly known as online share trading. In this case, you as an investor, once you open a CDS account, you register. We encourage you that you register for online share trading, and from that platform, you are able to access direct Nairobi Securities Exchange. You are able to see how the market is trending, how each and respective company is performing in terms of the prices, so that even if you are not maybe planning to sell or buy immediately, you are able to keep track of performance of any listed company, so that you can be able to, maybe if you are planning to add more, you can be able to do so at the right time. If you are targeting a certain price to exit any listed company, you are able to identify at the right time that a certain company have already achieved, or rather you have achieved your target price. So from there, you will be able to maximally utilize return from Nairobi Securities Exchange. When you look at how or other the principles of smart investor at the Nairobi Securities Exchange is more of timing, doing the right thing at the right time. You're buying when it is the time to buy. You're selling when it is the time to sell. As I mentioned before, this market is very dynamic. Any developing information must have an impact in our market or that listed company. If you have registered for online share trading platform, definitely it means that you can easily have that information. at your convenience, at your comfort. So the same platform also provide services, a session whereby you can be able to place an order yourself. You can be able to place an order to buy or sell shares. So in this case, you can be able to do it yourself. So instead of maybe planning yourself that you make a visit to any cooperative bank or you come to Kingdom Securities, you're just there, you click, you log into your account, you are able to see how things are happening, and maybe because of one, two, three reason, you are seeing that the prices are going up or the prices are going down. You yourself, you can be able to place an order, and also it's very efficient. As long as the market is on, that is from 9:30 to 3 p.m., you are able to place an order real time. And as I mentioned, this is one platform which we really encourage investors to utilize. When you look at how technology is really driving many businesses, you realize that things are changing. Nowadays, you need to be technologically advanced. So even you as an investor, please consider to utilize such platform, and you are able to create more time to do other things. And also you can concurrently be monitoring the performance of your investment while doing other things. Finally is the advisory services. As I mentioned before, is that we have an experienced investment team and research team. So we are able to advise you accordingly, so that you are able to make a well-informed decision. You know, when it comes to stock market, is that there are so many factors to consider before making a decision. You can reach our team, discuss with them that maybe I'm planning to buy 1, 2, 3. What's your opinion, or what exactly are you supposed to do? And at the same time, you will be receiving our research proposal on regular basis. So that is factors to consider. So how does really research contribute to that decision? And how does Kingdom research reports help you to make that decision? So what we have done is that we make sure that you receive research reports on daily and weekly basis. Daily and weekly are more of market reports. What has really happened on that material day? Like by close of business today, we'll be seeing, I know a number of us, if we normally have a look at how we look at on newspapers, how the stock market is performing. There's a column there which normally shows the top gainers, the top losers, movers. Such information are meant to inform your decision. Like if a company is a top mover, there must be reason why that company is appreciating at that level. So these are some of the information which we summarize, and it will be able to help you to consider that how you are supposed to make your decision. If a company is a top mover, that is now in terms of a number of shares traded, what are the factors making people, or rather, what is it really investors are considering, say that they are trading more of those shares? So those are some of the key factors which you have to consider from the daily and weekly market reports. We also share with you the company earning update and valuation reports. In this case, we ensure that you receive the company financial reports. What we normally do is we summarize whatever, once a company announces their financial reports, our research team normally have a look at it. They summarize in a way that you are able to understand easily, and from there now you can be able to see how the company is performing. Like Cooperative Bank, how is their profitability when you compare to the previous year? How are they performing? What is it expected going forward? So those are what you are. Those are some of the information which you will be receiving, or rather getting from the company earnings and updates. We also share the sector reports. Sector reports, which here in here is whereby our market has got several sectors of the economy, like banking, insurance, agricultural, manufacturing. So each and every sector has got its own dynamics. So from there, we are able to guide you and give you a summarized report on that sector that maybe 1, 2, 3 is happening within the a certain sector. A very good example is that way back in year 2000, that is 2017 term, the Treasury introduced the interest rate capping. What does that mean to the banking sector? From there, you can be able to have a look at how the sector is likely to perform going forward, and you are able to make informed decision immediately. We also we are also in the pandemic situation. There are some sectors which are negatively affected by this pandemic. There are some other sectors which have been favored by this pandemic, like the telecommunication industry, whereby with the pandemic, individuals and corporates who are embracing technology in terms of hosting events and also operations. So you find that those are some of the windfall revenue for the telecommunication industry. And one listed company is Safaricom, which is really doing well, and it's because of such a windfall business for the likes of that such a telecommunication company. To the service industries, what does the means when this pandemic started? And now that we have the likes of the global rollout of COVID-19 vaccine, what are we expecting going forward in the next 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, and even up to 1 year? We also provide a macroeconomic report. This is whereby this one we normally does on quarterly basis. So we have also the global economic performance, and then we correlate with our local economy. If this one we factor in the likes of oil prices, how are they performing, and how is it going to affect some of the listed companies? How is the Kenya economy going to perform in response to maybe oil prices going up or even dropping? This is one area whereby you are able to project and say that in the next quarter, what are we expecting from the stock market? So what are we supposed to do right now, so that by the time the next quarter approach, or during that quarter, we are able to exercise return from that such impact. We have the currencies. How is the dollar performing? How is the shilling performing? So those are some of the content of the macro reports. We also ensure that you receive the fixed income analysis. As I mentioned before, these are the government securities and also the corporate bonds. Finally, is the market news. I mentioned before that it's a very, very dynamic market whereby information is very key. So wherever we have information which we feel like it will affect your investment, we make sure that we share with you on time so that we can be able to make that decision at the right time. Finally, other services which we also provide is the corporate access and the client roadshow. In case maybe you feel like you need more information from any listed company, we are able to approach a listed company, and then from there, you can have a meeting. We ensure that you receive first-hand information in terms of how are their strategies, how are they going to execute such strategies. From there, we are able to see clearly what are we expecting from such a listed company. Client roadshows is also whereby, in case you are a member of an investment group and you feel like maybe you want us to talk to your team in terms of how they can benefit when it comes to investing in Nairobi Securities Exchange, we are willing to do so. If you are a member of a SACCO and maybe you want your SACCO to be part of investors in Nairobi Securities Exchange, we'll be able to guide you on the same. When it comes to investing, or rather any investment, one key factor here is what are benefits of that investment? How is it going to grow your wealth? So when you look at the Nairobi Securities Exchange, this is one investment whereby it's over a very good saving platform. When we talk of saving, is that our market is flexible enough to accommodate as little as okay, the minimum number of shares you can invest or you can invite as an investor is 100 shares. So the determining amount to invest is the price. So you can see we have companies trading even below 5 shilling. So from there you can see with a little amount you can be an investor. So this acts as a very, very good investment platform. A good example is like Safaricom, which was listed way back in 2008 through an IPO at a price of 5 shilling. Right now, the company is trading at 40 shilling. So you can see someone who have been buying periodically Safaricom shares, they have got a very good, or rather they have grown their portfolio due to the value which the company gain as in terms of the price. Because you can consider someone who invested 100,000 during the IPO time. Right now, if that person or investor is to sell, he or she will get a cool Kenya shilling 800,000. When you compare with other investment, this is one area whereby you can get it can act as a very good saving platform. So it's worth actually considering. And as I mentioned, it's very flexible. The minimum number of shares to be invested is you can buy is only 100. Another benefit is it's a very good way of protecting your investment against inflation and taxes. When you look at the inflation rates of the country, always the performance of Nairobi Securities Exchange is above the inflation rate. So it's able, you are able to cover for the inflation and get better returns from the stock market. Also, when it comes to taxes, we have only 2 taxes applicable in our market. That is the withholding taxes on dividends, that is 5%, and also VAT 16%, which is applicable when you are transacting. When you compare with other investments whereby the likes of capital gains are applicable, here you are able to maximize your returns because of few applicable taxes. You consider when you are selling some other assets that you must remit capital gain taxes. Here you don't. So it's a very, very good investment platform. Also, this one area whereby you can maximize income on investments. I will refer to the same company I had mentioned before, that is a Safaricom. You can see that in a span of about 12 years, the company has gained over 500%. Where else are you able to get a return of 500% compounded over that duration? Please, this is the time to make a decision and consider taking position in this market. Finally, is you can use the product you have purchased as a security, you can use as a collateral. In this case, you can approach our bank, that is a cooperative bank, once you have purchased any of the product, and then you secure the same you use the same to secure a facility. What will happen here is that they will make an assessment of your portfolio, and then from there they will be able to tell you how much you will qualify or rather to secure a facility with that portfolio. And now, when it comes to transacting with Kingdom Securities, they are applicable brokerage commission, which is a transaction based, meaning that you are only charged when you are buying and selling shares. So in this case, we have a threshold of Kenya shilling 100,000. If you are transacting shares of a value less than 100,000, commission is 1.78. And if it is above 100,000, commission is 1.46. And regulatory fees and VAT commission, brokerage commission applicable 0.34 and 16% respectively. Our rates are competitive. When you look at other brokers out there, they do charge account opening fee, account maintenance fee. Kingdom Securities, these are the only applicable fee. Account opening is free. We don't have account maintenance fee. So this is advantages and take advantage for the same. For VAT, initially it was not applicable until year 2020 when the government introduced through a finance act. So as a patriotic citizen, we are required to remit the same. Also, there's a court case in reference to the same, but at the moment we are required to remit that. Now, as I mentioned before, is that I will share with you the requirement to open a CDS account. And there are some forms that you will fill, and there are some documents you will be provided, you will be required to provide. The forms to be completed are available at the branch level as well as our head office. So you will be required to provide your Kenya national ID or the Kenya passport, and then also a colored passport size photo. Third one is a certified bank statement or a check leaf or a bank card, in this case, ATM. And finally, is the KRA PIN certificate. For the bank statement, we need to confirm that you are the account holder for that account which you are going to, which you are provided, so that when you are you qualify for dividends from a listed company, will pay to that the company to the bank account you provided, and also when you sell your shares, they will be paid to your the bank account you provided, the bank statement. So those are the requirements. For the SACCOs and investment group, we can be able to share with you, and also you can visit any of our cooperative bank branches and you'll be able to get more details for the same. Otherwise, these are for the individual CDS account opening requirement. So thank you very much for that engagement. So we are looking forward to having more engagement with you so that we can be able to guide you on how you can be able to maximally utilize returns from Nairobi Securities Exchange. When you look at the performance of Nairobi Securities Exchange, it is on upward trend at the moment. Reason being that we have seen how governments have been responding to COVID-19 in terms of rollout of COVID-19 vaccine. So we are seeing companies resuming operation. So in stock market, this is the right time to take position, so that by the time the economy is on full recovery and also in full operations, we are able to realize good returns in terms of prices. You look at those companies which initially they had suspended, or rather they had closed down, or they were partially in a partial lockdown. Right now, they are resuming operation. What does it mean? It means that actually in the next 6 months or even up to 1 year there, the prices will be at a very, very high rate. Our market in terms of activities is dominated by foreigners. So it means that this is one market whereby there are still very, very good opportunities, because you can, if someone is willing actually to come and invest in a market, in our market, it means there is a very, very good opportunity. So I do ask you that, let you be part of this channel. Thank you very much. Looking forward to more discussion on the same. We'll share our contact at the end of this presentation so that you can be able to reach us, and we'll guide you on how you can be an investor and benefit a lot from Nairobi Securities Exchange. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dennis, for that insightful session. And yeah, you've taken us very well in terms of what are even the benefits of us investing through the stock exchange. And you've talked about building our savings and maximizing the income on investments. You talked about the protection from inflation and taxes, and the use of securities as a collateral. So I think that is quite insightful, and saying that there are opportunities. There are opportunities that are there in the stock market, and our business customers, even as we talk about COVID and the challenges that we went through, we can maximize our investment opportunities so that we don't just have one line. And I know this information we are able to get even more details through our branches, and we'll also be sharing the contacts. I want to advise you that even as we proceed, we will request you to share your questions, and we'll be able to answer them during the question and answer session. We still have a small session that you learn on the e-credit for business people, to say what are some of the ways that the core bank will still support us to access finance even digitally. And what we're seeing is that we're also going through the digital transformation, where now many people are taking solutions or loans through our mobile phones. And we also have a session on the same. And after that, we'll have some questions and answers being answered. And I see already there are questions that are coming through the question and answer put down there. So I want to invite Moses Rob. Moses Rob will be taking us through another session on e-credit for business customers, and what are some of the benefits, and how do we even get it? How do we even access it in our branches? So, karibu sana Moses Rob to take us through that session. Asante.
Thank you, Peter, and welcome all our customers. Thank you also, Dennis, for the presentation on shares trading. And I think from what Dennis has shared about real-time trading, my primary responsibility in this bank is to ensure that MSME customers, their needs are taken care of, their digital financial needs are taken care of, so that they can be able to leverage on the loans that we're giving through the channel, that's our mobile banking channel and Cash, to take advantage of the opportunities that are available online in terms of share trading and all the other businesses that the customer needs, an MSME customer needs to run on day-to-day basis, especially with the current reality of the new normal. Now, most of our operations are moving from manual to digital, and for that, we always ensure that we are available in that space to take care of your needs, and that is where e-credit comes in. And for this, I'll dwell much on the MSME credits, what it entails, and the journey so far, how we've worked with the MSME customer, and what are our new frontiers in terms of working with the MSME customer, in terms of giving them financial information, financial needs, and also financial advisory in terms of digital transactions. So I'll start by explaining what e-credit is to a business customer, in that for an MSME customer, there are a lot of activities that happens on daily basis in your business premise. And yes, now thanks. So I'll start by explaining what this business e-credit entails. And this is basically the loans that we advance digitally, that is through the mobile. And this is currently offered on our Cash app and our USSD platform, that is *667. It's also available, and we are still growing our coverage on the Omni platform for customers who are on retail Omni, and *557 for the customers who are on Omni USSD. For MSME credit, our limits in terms of the finances that we offer is we give you between a limit of 1,000 to a limit of Kenya shillings 1 million. I think probably we are one of the few, if we are not, if not the only one, who is offering such a high limit of credit digitally that is unsecured. And we are doing this basically because we are trying to tailor make our MSME e-credit solution to take care of the needs of the business customer exclusively. And we are moving the MSME credit from the space where the normal mobile lending space, where the customer is looked at as an individual, and now moving to looking at the customer as a business, that you need this money, and this money is meant for business purposes. So the limits that we offer should be sufficient to take care of the immediate short-term business needs. That's why we have moved our limits up to Kenya shillings 1 million for MSME e-credits. We offer these loans for a period between 1 and 6 months, and currently the customer chooses the period that you want to repay the loan with, that is between 1 and 6 months, whichever is convenient. This is actually informed by your business cycles, or your business cycles, or the time that it takes for your business to turn around and to your capital to move. So within 1 and 6 months, the customer determines the period to pay. You also choose the amount that is convenient to take care of the immediate need, between 1,000 Kenya shillings to Kenya shillings 1 million. And who qualifies for MSME credits? We offer these credits to sole customers, individuals. We also offer these to partnerships, registered partnerships, and currently we also offer it to limited companies. This is a bit exciting, and like I said, that we are looking at the business as the business. We are trying to move from looking at the owner or the individual that runs the business and looking at the business, for us to ensure that we provide the business with the current level of financing that it needs. So for individuals, it's pretty straightforward, that an individual customer has an account, and the account has business funds being channeled through their cash flows, their business cash flows coming through this account. This customer is registered on MCOPCash, and after banking with us for a minimum period of 6 months, these customers are eligible for individual business loan. For the sole proprietors, these are basically the registered entities which are run by one individual. Still the same. We appraise the account, or we credit rate the account, and assign a limit to that account after the minimum banking period of 6 months, and the individual who is the proprietor of that account can be able to apply for the MSME credit loan, subject to eligibility. Now coming to the limited companies, I think this is where I need to spend a few minutes just to explain how it works. You know, it's one of a kind in the industry right now, whereby we offer a mobile loan to a limited company, and most of the limited companies have multiple directors or multiple signatories. So probably the question would be, how is this actualized? And this is actually informed by the current happenings in the economy, where most of the businesses are moving to digital. There's a lot of physical interactions in terms of the delivery of goods and services, and even receiving and making payments. So just to be able to be in that space and to ensure that the operations are seamless, we have introduced a mobile lending, MSMEs, to limited companies, where we have one director. The director is the one who is registered to the single director is the one who is registered on mobile banking. And then there are a few documents that the director will sign at the branch, just because of the separate legal entity between a limited company and as an individual. These are two different separate legal entities, but we are trying to link the director in the company to enable them to borrow. So for a single signatory limited companies, once they are pre-qualified after the minimum banking period of 6 months, the director visits the branch, then they get to know the amount they qualify for. We also notify the directors. Once we pre-qualify limited companies, we usually notify the directors via SMS that your business account has been pre-qualified for this amount of loan on MCOP cash. You visit the nearest branch to register and access this money immediately. What happens at the branch is there are a few forms that the director fill. We are trying to minimize the documentation. This is a one-off documentation whereby the forms are just linking the entity as a limited company to the director. And once that is completed, then the company is enabled in the system to borrow. And the mobile number that the director would have signed with the branch is where the money will be delivered to. And that is the primary mobile number that will be registered for MCOP cash. For the ones with multiple signatories, still the same process, but this one entails a nomination of one of the directors to borrow on behalf of all the directors. And the account is pre-qualified. All the directors sign that they have nominated, so say Director A as the principal agent to borrow on MCOP cash. And then they give us a designated mobile number where the loan will be delivered. The documentation for limited company is one-off, and you will not need to do any form of documentation for subsequent loans. That process of nomination is one-off, and subsequently, the same process having been captured in our systems, we'll be using that same number to deliver the loan proceeds each time, anytime the business needs some capital, some top up here and there. That mobile number will be the one that is receiving the loan proceeds. Until when now the directors visit the branch, make changes in terms of who has been nominated, or make changes in terms of which mobile number to receive the funds in case of changes in the company and all that. But that is a new space. We acknowledge the fact that everything around MSME customers is moving online, and we'll want to move so that there is no interruption in terms of, or there is no gap in financing. We'll move with you to the digital platforms that you explore, especially with the current changes in the economy. Then how do I qualify for business loan? That's the question that most MSME customers are asking themselves. And qualification is easy, and it's simple, and we deliver this information to the customers, and as we update, we also deliver this from time to time. And the key in business is regular and consistent cash flows. This is what we call, in other words, turnover. Like you're in business, how do you receive your payments? Or how do you receive your sales? When you make a sale, how do you receive? When you are making a payment, how do you pay? So what payments and receiving of proceeds from sales is what we call cash flow. But in this case, what really qualifies you for loan is the incoming cash flows. Like you see, how much of your turnover is coming through your account. So as much as possible, as an MSME customer, always try to ensure that all your business sales, the proceeds are received through an account, because that will assist us to ascertain your level of bankings in terms of turnover, and also assist us to assign the correct limit for a loan that will sufficiently cater for your needs, because we'll not want to underfinance a customer, because we'll want the customer to realize the full potential that is presented by the business or the operating space that they are in. So ensure that all your bankings are channeled through the accounts, and that will inform a loan limit that we'll set on your MSME e-credit. Something else that we look at a good credit standing. And by good credit standing, this can be broken down into quite a number of areas that we look at. But of importance is what is the MSME customer reputation in terms of borrowings, the past borrowings. What is the borrowing and repayment history? As this customer borrowed elsewhere before, how was that loan paid? How is the customer relating to suppliers in terms of is the customer paying for the supplies within the agreed period? Those are the things that we consider in credit standing. And how are the account balances moving? How is the customer making payments that they fall due? Is it that the customer is paying the payments that fall due? Is it that the customer is paying on time? Is it the customer is prepaying? Is it the customer is paying in behind the scheduled time? Those are the things that informs your credit standing. It's very important. I know most MSME customers are conscious about their credit standing, and even honoring payments and checks in transfers and all that, because it informs your level of borrowing. The level of or the limit is assigned based on the level of credit standing. If the customer is in a good credit standing, then the customer would enjoy a higher limit or will enjoy a loan for a longer period, and vice versa. It happens everywhere, and I know quite a lot of organizations are now providing the credit standing, and I know there are quite a number of bureaus that provides your credit score, and the customer is able to gauge their credit standing from time to time. And these services are even available digitally. You can be able to see what your bureau score is digitally. You can do that for your business. And this is to encourage the MSME customer at this point that as you transition from the individual to a sole proprietor to a limited company, let's also transition our financial activities in terms of bankings, borrowings to the space that we are operating in, so that you don't have a good credit standing as an individual customer and your company has no credit standing because there is no record of any borrowing and repayment. The customer is just used to borrowing as an individual. So even as the business grows and the customer moves to the sole proprietor, to the limited company space, they don't move with their credits, or they don't prepare their credit standing or improve their credit standing on the different entities that they trade with. I think that is something key that the MSME customer needs to be conscious about, that as we grow our business and transition, let's move with our good credit standing from individual to the entities that we are in. Number 3 is supposed to, or the customer is, for the customer to enjoy the MSME credits, they need to be on MCOPCash platform, because basically, as we say, these are digital loan. The delivery and the decisioning is done digitally. So you make an application and it's a real-time application. It's a real-time appraisal that we consider your application real-time as you continue to process on your phone. And we also do that disbursement and deliver the funds to your MCOPCash digitally. And point to note here is if you have any other facility with us, you have your your working capital, your mortgage, your asset finance, you're still repaying these facilities, note that MSME credit can still fulfill your short-term financial needs. These are short-term loans to bridge the gap in financing, to bridge the gap in demand and supply. We deliver this money anytime, notwithstanding any other facility that you have with us. So we also have a salary e-credit solution. This will take care of the employees of this MSME customer. As we take care of the needs of an MSME customer digitally, We'll also want you to take care of the personal needs of your employees in terms of you can empower them to have salary loans with Cooperative Bank. And this is made possible by the employees opening a salary account, or the MSME customer, since your main account is with us. Also sensitize the employees to have accounts with us. This will make even the payments easier, because you can manage and you can be able actually to reconcile your finances better when everything is within COP. So they open salary accounts. We can give them a limit of up to 500,000. And for salaried loans, they can pay it up to 3 months. This is short-term financing for a salaried person. Call them salary advances. Can be 1 month, 2 month, or 3 month salary advance based on their net pay. The maximum is 500,000. The minimum is also 1,000. And who qualify for this is all employees operating a COP salary account, including all the employees of all our MSME customers. And how does one qualify for a salary loan? One needs to have an active salary account. And by an active salary account, I mean it's a salary account that is open in our system and receiving salary payments through that account. The account should have at least 1 salary credit in the last 3 months. And based on that, how many salary credits the account has, what is the net, who is the employer, then that determines the limit. And also this facility can run concurrently with the other facilities that the customer could have with the bank, the personal loan, started finances, and even credit card and mortgage facilities. So let me talk briefly about the advantages of having this credit facility. Say these loans are cheaper in terms of loan fees and interest. I know most customers, especially the MSME customers, are conscious about the cost of a loan, because remember, the cost of a loan also is it's into the margins that the customer makes in terms of business. This is your profit margin. Then how much did you pay for a loan for you to have that capital, so that as you compute and find out what are your margins in terms of profit, and even to inform your selling price, then we are making this facility as cheap as possible. I know these facilities are offered at very high rates by the other players in the industry, and even the fintech and other mobile money lenders. That I think the minimum rate that is charged by other players in the industry is 7.5% per month. And we say ours is cheaper. Why? Because we charge a rate of 4% per month. That is in terms of the processing fee and the interest per month. We charge 4.5%, which is way cheaper than this average of 7%, and even the high of up to 15% that some players charge per month. Number two, this facility is purely unsecured. We don't link your mobile loan to any security that you have given to us. And if you have no borrowing history and no security with us, you still qualify for this facility. It's an unsecured facility. It's a facility that is introduced to the bank to cater for the needs of the customers who are unbanked mostly. And in the MSME space, the micro and small customers have challenges of accessing finances because they don't have security. We are telling you that in our M-Corp Cash platform, under MSME e-credit, we can give you up to a maximum of Kenya shillings 1 million instantly on mobile and secured. The other benefits that an MSME customer enjoys with this facility is very easy to access. Why? It's offered on mobile. Our mobile services are available 24/7, and anytime in the course of the day, in the course of the night. Once you're done with your daily reconciliations, you can see the gap that is for the next day, or you want to book stock early enough. Most of MSME customers who are dealing with the daily stock have to book their stock as early as 3 a.m. in the morning. The banks are not open at that point. The convenience that comes with mobile banking is you can just log into your M-Corp Cash and get your loan at 3 a.m. or 2 a.m. Send it to the supplier at 3 a.m. Buy your goods, make a loan repayment at midnight. As in, it's a service that is easily accessible and it's 24/7. Then the other advantage is fast, and we deliver the credit decision fast, and we deliver this very uniformly, because this is delivered by an automated system which operates in a standard way, that you apply for a loan and you get to know the approval of that loan in the next minute, and actually get that money deposited to your mobile instantly. There is no worry of, I made this application, I don't know what the bank has said, calling the bank to find out if they approved your loan or not. This is a decision that we deliver fast, and we deliver it uniformly. So if you operate the same way, or your cash flows and everything is consistent and everything, you'll be sure that you'll apply for this loan and you'll get it. The decision is fast and uniform. Then in terms of repayment, this is also fast in terms of in comparison to other players also in the mobile lending space, that we give you a flexible repayment. Why? We know sometimes there is a delays in receipts of funds, and a customer may not be able to service, and there are business uncertainties also, that you are not able to service the full loan that is due in 1 month. So for a business customer, we break this down and tell you that you can pick this amount of loan and you can make a payment of up to 6 months. So if you pick a loan to pay in 1 month, then the loan will be due in 30 days. If you pick the loan to pay in 6 months, then the loan will be split into 6 installments, and you'll be paying an equivalent of 1 installment every month. So it's very flexible repayment up to 6 months. I still haven't encountered a player that is giving a business loan on mobile of up to 6 months. So I think those are the solutions that we provide, and we make decisions in terms of providing and making it flexible as such, because we want to meet the customers to meet the needs of this MSME customer, whether it's the digital loans, the shares and everything. We customize our solutions to match the space and the pace that the business is moving. Then I think that's it for MSME credits, and we continue to provide this information in such forums like webinars, and in case there is any question, post them on the chat, and we'll keep engaging. We'll respond to all your questions, and this information is also available in our website, and our contacts will be shared also at the end of this presentation. Thanks, Peter, and thanks our customers for listening in.
Thank you. Rob, you can mute from your end, and even before you leave, Rob, I think there are a few questions that are coming, and I think you have shared very, very good insights on this credit. People keep on asking, how do I even access? Is it even available? And how do I even start to know where my limit is? So I think a few questions have come. Before you leave, I want you to answer. Before then, I invite Dennis to answer the questions regarding the Kingdom Securities. Sylvia Nzambu is asking, how do you determine your loan limit to a customer? She's saying, my loan limit is 9K. I have banked with you for 2 years. Then how do I access that money and in bigger numbers. So you want to answer that. Then there's another question here from Dana Wino. Can such loans be applicable to school businesses? So you want to answer that as well. Maybe another one here from David Muigai. This is a very educative session. Question to Moses. What about a case of either to sign mandate? How do such access the mobile loan? Yeah, so for either to sign, I think you need to comment on that. There's another question here also you need to note, Rob, from Joseph Were. Can one sign up for loan and for cash loan purely digital without coming to the banking hall to complete the manual forms? The last one from David Muigai, you will answer them briefly. David is saying, I run a school and every time I apply via *667# for a business plus loan, the appraiser says request has failed for I do not qualify for this loan. I have reasonable turnovers and meet all the requirements as per your presentation. What could be the problem? I think those are very good questions coming from customers, and you could answer before we go to the questions for Dennis Langat. Go ahead.
Thanks, Peter. I think the questions coming in are quite, the questions are useful actually for information purposes, and I think these are the information that will deliver to customers at this channel. Sylvie is asking how we arrive at the loan limit. If we remember, just briefly when I presented about how do I qualify? Key thing is the cash flows. Key thing is the cash flows. That is number one. The number two is the credit standing. I think those are the things that I took some time to explain. And in terms of cash flows, we look at what is your average, and we consider this for 6 months. Your last 6 months, what's your average banking levels? And the bankings in this case is, we're talking about consistency and regular income. So in a 6 months period, what is the average that you did in terms of credit turnover? And then what is your credit standing? It's a combination of the two. We give you a percentage of what you bank as your loan limit, just to be sure that when this loan falls due, you do not strain your business and you're not strained to repay. So we give you as a percentage. And the percentage ranges from 10% to 50%, depending on your credit standing. For example, if you're on the highest credit standing, or your credit score is high, that what we call the credit score. If your credit score is high, we'll give you up to 50% of your average credit turnover. So if your average credit turnover is say 500,000, then you can access up to 250,000 if you are on the highest credit standing. That is what you call credit score. And you could also get a minimum of up to 10% of that turnover. So it's actually a combination of your cash flows and your credit standing. I hope I've answered that. Then a question from Dan: are schools eligible for this product? Yes. Then basically this is a MSME credit. So the schools, the private schools, in this case, the private schools which are operating in our MSME space are pre-qualified and they're eligible for this facility. And we'll share the contacts at the end of the presentation. So probably you can share the details of your school and the account that you operate for the school. We'll review that and surely get back to you. But yes, the facility is available to all MSME customers, including the ones who are operating private schools. David asked of either to sign. Is it possible to have a loan for customers or the customers who are operating an account with the mandate of either to sign? Yes, for registered entities, remember this is purely an MSME credit facility. So for registered entities, which are either to sign or even sign, both to sign or any three to sign, those ones are covered by this product. We are also working on delivering these to joint accounts. That is joint accounts with either to sign or both to sign. And by joint accounts, I mean the accounts which are jointly held by two individuals, say Moses and Peter. And maybe we've set Moses to sign, either Moses or Peter to sign, or both of us to sign. We are working on delivering that to joint account holders. But for MSMEs, either individual, a registered partnership, or registered business name, registered limited company, all those we deliver this solution irrespective of the signing instructions. Then we're asked of, is it possible to deliver these loans, MSME loans, digitally without the customer having to sign any physical document? And my answer would be yes, that these facilities that we're offering on mobile are purely digital facilities. However, for the registered entities, and in this case, registered partnerships and limited companies, where there are more than one party involved. There are two partners, there are three partners, there are four directors. For the initial onboarding or for the initial registration, then these directors need to visit a branch so that they do a resolution that they want to enjoy this facility. And at that point, they give the agent who has been nominated to borrow and the mobile number where we deliver the loan to. I think it's only for that one-off registration where you introduce the mobile number where we deliver the loans to, because it's a mobile loan which is delivered to only one mobile number at a time. David talked of a challenge in application for the loan. Each time he dials *667. David, at the end of this call also will share the contact. Please, you can just drop a mail or you can give us a call. We go through your specific application and know where the challenge is and advise you on how that challenge can be resolved. And if it's a challenge we resolve on our end, we'll resolve that and deliver the loan to your end. Thank you. Thank you, Peter.
Thank you, Moses Rob, for that insight. I want to transit to the other presenter. That is, maybe you can put off the camera. As Dennis Langat comes in, maybe there are a few questions that had come earlier, and I have seen the MD of Kingdom Securities Limited, that is Anthony, has joined. And maybe if there are questions that you feel that you also want to answer, maybe you can also join us. Dennis attempts to answer the questions that are already asked. Starting maybe with the first question, some question from Dennis Were. So kindly advise if it is possible to automate funds transfer to the CDS account for investment and vice versa for dividends. Then there's another question also from Evans Mudanya. Is asking, is trading, buying and selling just a daily activity, or is it an hourly, minute, or even often thing? I know there is always the starting and end of the day numbers. So you want to comment on that, Dennis? There's a question that had been asked earlier by Evans Mudanya also on CDSC. So he's asking, does that mean certificates of deposits? Maybe one more for you. There's a question here coming from Timothy Aperit. Is the brokerage fees inclusive of or exclusive of VAT? Is there short selling in the Kenya stock market? How can one build an efficient portfolio? Maybe the last one for you, Dennis, is coming from Joanne Ogoya. And she's asking, I have a CDS account with Kingdom Securities that is currently dormant. Can it be reactivated at any of your branches? Then what do I need to do that? maybe answer those questions first. Thank you.
Thank you for thank you for questions presented, and I will answer. Now, for us, nowadays CDS accounts are normally declared dormant if you have not transacted for the last 2 years, and I'm sure a number of current investors are receiving communication from CDSC requesting that you check the status of your CDS account. So an account has been declared dormant, it means you cannot transact, you can buy or even sell shares. So in this case, you will be required first to update your profile so that from there you can be allowed to transact thereafter. Yes, it is possible to reactivate the CDS account at the branch level. In this case, you will submit the documents. You will be required to provide a passport size photo, photocopy of your national ID or passport, whichever was used when opening CDS account. You need also to provide your KRA PIN, and finally is either a certified bank statement or a photocopy of an ATM card. With the 4 documents, you'll be given 2 forms to complete. That is the one for reactivation, as well as also another one to update your mandates. Kindly note, once you reactivate, please at least be doing regular transactions so that the account cannot be declared again dormant. So yes, you can, such services are available at the branch level. Please visit the branch so that you can be able to reactivate that account. It's also a question concerning the VAT, whether it is inclusive, in the commission. The one I shared with you is the breakdown in terms of the actual commission we are charging as Kingdom, Securities, and regulatory levies, as well as the VAT. So like I mentioned before, is that the commission is 1.78, and then we have regulatory levies 0.34, and finally the 16% on commission. Ideally, total will be coming to 1.8% for if you are transacting shares of a value above 100,000. So in this case, commission will be 1,800, and then 16% VAT is charged on that 1,800, so that you can be able to have the total amount which will be deducted for that transaction. CDSC is a regulatory body who happen to be managing, as I mentioned earlier, is that they are the actual custodians of all CDS accounts. So CDS is the account, CDSC is the regulatory body governing the brokers in relation to management of all CDS accounts. When it comes to activities, the Nairobi Securities Exchange is on daily basis, and that is from Monday to Friday, and markets open 9:30 a.m. and close 3 p.m. Kenya time. So during that time, that is from 9:30 to 3 p.m., you are able to place orders in case you are able to place orders direct to the market. But in case maybe you have visited our head office or any of our branches, you can place an order also off market for it to be executed the following day. So that is how our market operates. In terms of having an efficient portfolio, as I mentioned before, is that there are so many factors to consider before someone invests, because the stock market is always fluctuating, and we need to consider your investment objective and also your personal financial plan, so that from there we can be able to give you a company which maybe based on your investment objective, you are able to get you something which is going to fit you. We have companies who have been paying dividends, very good dividends for a very long time. So those are some of the things which you consider when you are drafting a portfolio. And also you need to consider investing across sectors, so that at least you can have a well-balanced portfolio. And also at any given moment, in case maybe there's a financial demand and maybe you must sell, at least there's a sector which could be performing better at that time and you have got return. So you are able to sell at a profit despite being under pressure, maybe to sell such a stock. So efficient portfolio actually considers so many things. But as I mentioned, is that our staff will be able to assist you in terms of maybe arriving at drafting that portfolio and what you need to do when you are building a portfolio. So we will be able to guide you thereafter. Thank you, Peter.
This is Anthony. I have seen some few issues that have also been raised. Maybe I can also comment on them.
Go ahead, Anthony. Thank you.
I think the issue of automated payments to CDSC, this one is almost seamless, and mainly because of some of the issues that you have to adhere to in regulation. When you send us money, we need to make sure that one, it is your money. So in the bank has provided us our platform where when you send your money, you indicate your ID or CDS, but so that you can know your money. Of course, if you send money of more than 100,000, we are required by regulation to get source of funds form to be completed, just to make sure that everything is okay. And because of this, then there's a small drag in terms of money being put on a CDS. But yeah, this is almost seamless, and it works during trading. We're able to actually make sure that this works. So you should not be scared about that. There's another question about whether certificates are obsolete. They're not obsolete in the sense that it still shows you have the shares. Just because you have the certificate doesn't mean your shares are gone. But we may say it doesn't help you in the sense that with that share, you cannot sell it, or in certificate, you cannot get it as guarantee to your loans. So unless your shares are in the CDSC format, then that is when they can help you. Certificate, yes, you have. It shows that you have the shares, but the only thing that you can get from that is dividend. But should you want to use the shares as security, should you also use the shares? Should you want to sell the shares? You're not be able to sell them until the shares are put onto the CDSC. And the benefit of putting the shares on CDSC is, one, you're able to take advantage of the price when it comes. When the good price comes, you're able to sell quickly. And more importantly, we've had situations where we've seen investors who have delayed the process of banking their dividend checks, and the Unclaimed Financial Assets Authority getting their shares or your dividends. And so when you open a CDS account, one of the things it helps you is to put your requirement that for all your dividends, you want them to be put in your bank account. So that makes sure that you're able to have your payment or your dividend payment made timely. For those who are investors and you're paid by check, I'd just like you to know that whereas the people who have given the dividends to be paid by bank account are paid immediately, the books are closed and payment is done. For check, payment is normally done about maybe 2 to 3 weeks after. So it is important to have everything put onto the bank account. Thank you. I think all the questions that have been raised, Dennis has talked about to them.
Thank you so much, Anthony. Yeah, for the additions and those insights. I think now you covered almost everything that have been asked. So and customers, you can see we have portrayed our contacts there on the screen. So in terms of more details, I know there are some questions that have been asked, and we always make sure that we contact you back and we share even this material and the video to your email. So as we do that, please also pick the contacts maybe for more information regarding the stock exchange and also on the e-credit. So before then we wind up on that, I want the Dennis Langat to just give the closing comments on his behalf. And then before I invite Rob, just to wind up on maybe 1 or 2 questions that have been asked on e-credit as we progress. So Dennis Langat.
Thank you, Peter and Anthony, for that clarification. We have received many questions, and for the interest of time, I will be able to contact you individually. So I think later on, expect emails from our side in terms of clarifying whatever you have asked. I think before we had promised that the meeting was to end at 12:30, but we have seen that we still got questions which we didn't cover. So please, we will contact you for the same so that we can be able to clarify on anything. Otherwise, thank you very much. You can take a screenshot to pick our contact details so that for purpose of communication, you can reach us. So and then from there, we can be able to guide you in terms of how you can be able to be an investor at Nairobi Securities Exchange. I've seen from the question, actually, we do have a good number who are already investors, which is really very interesting. But the question again is how are the returns when you look at the portfolio? Is there something that maybe you are missing out? And as I mentioned, Kingdom Securities is here to ensure that you grow your wealth. Thank you very much, and have a blessed afternoon.
Thank you, Dennis. You can come and make your closing remarks. And as you do that, you want to comment on two questions that have been raised here by George. George is asking, would you want to review the repayment period that is up to 6 months, maybe to add? Maybe you want to comment on that. This one that has come, but I think you had raised it. It's on the maximum limit for the e-credit for an individual. That one is coming from Alex Gulavi. So comment onto that on the two questions, and give the closing comments as we try to wind up. Thank you. Moses. Yeah. Moses, yeah, good.
Thanks, Peter. And I'll pick the two questions first. Repayment period, George, yes, we review MSME credit solution from time to time. And that is one of the things that we look at. And once a review is done on the repayment period, and even the maximum limit on anything to do with that particular solution, we will let the customers know. But yes, we do reviews on all the aspects of our product, and one of them is repayment period. Then on maximum limit, Alex, for individual customer, anybody operating in the MSME space, the maximum limit is 1 million, whether it's an individual, a business, or a limited company. Maximum limit is 1 million. And for the salaried loan, the maximum limit is 500,000. Thank you. Then Peter, thanks for having me today. And for our customers, MSME customer, thank you very much for attending. And MSME credit sits at business banking, cooperative bank. And across our branch network, we have business bankers who can provide this information. If you have any information about e-credit or any clarification that you need about e-credit, please get in touch with your relationship manager at the branch, or even through our contact center, raise the issues, they'll get to us, or raise them with us directly. My telephone number is there, my email address is there. You can send an email, you can give us a call, we will address the question. You can also give us feedback on our offering in terms of MSME e-credit. Any feedback in terms of what you feel, what review you feel the bank should do, we listen to an MSME customer. So our reviews are mostly informed by market surveys and the feedback we get from the customers. Give us that feedback, and let's engage through the branches directly. We are open, and we wish you all the best in your business, and we look forward to having a forum like this again for MSME credit. Thank you.
Thank you, Moses. What maybe to the next slide is to, as we conclude, thank you so much, our customers, even to to be patient and having been there to listen to us on one of the topics that you have really asked us to to give, and we are glad that you joined, and in big numbers. I think we had more than 200 customers attending from across the network. So we appreciate so much for your time, and thank you so Moses and Dennis Langat again for the comments and the insights that you have shared. I know there are questions that are coming, and we do what we keep on doing in terms of giving back rather raising back the issues that you raised, and we're able to answer, and we're able to call you, and we're able to even do emails to you after. But I think our call to action is just to say, please keep your relationship managers close to you in the branches to give you more information, because there's quite a number of information that is down there. Please reach out to them so that they can give you more information in the branches. Again, we still encourage you to leverage on our platforms to bank all your incomes, because some of these solutions, the e-credit that you're talking about, you're able to get it because you're banking well with us. And we're saying, present your financial and investment needs to your managers and to your relationship bankers down there to say, this is what I'm looking for. And you're able to have a session with them, and you say, this is what I'm looking at, and they're able to give you those insights. We still encourage you to keep visiting our website. I think there's a portal down there. There's a link there that you can also get more information. And as you have seen, there are detailed information that maybe we did not give during the webinar, but you're able to get it maybe the website that we have. Again, we continue to encourage all of us to keep safe during this pandemic and this COVID time. We really want you to be in businesses, and we really appreciate you to be there, and we want to work with you in that journey. So as we proceed to close, mine is to really thank you so much. It was a pleasure having all of you in this session. We want to say asanteni sana for joining in big numbers, and we'll continue to have this. Next week, we have another session, very exciting session again, that will be training you on how to manage your businesses, and we'll be sharing the topic as well through your email. So stay tuned for the same. So asanteni sana. Want to wish you well in your businesses, and may God bless you. Asanteni sana. Thank you so much, Anthony, as well from Kingdom Securities. You have also added your insights even as we progress. Thank you. Thank you too. Thank you.